Sean Diddy Combs is denied bail on charges of trafficking and racketeering.
TMZ has been following this case for months now, and Charles Latibaudier is joining us to dive deeper into what
There are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on.
When the federal government is the one to investigate and ultimately make an arrest, they really are meticulous, and they make sure that they have sufficient evidence. They cross their T's and dot their I's, and by the time you get to an indictment, the investigation is thorough and complete, which is why the conviction rate is so
The latest twist in Diddy's case is more shocking than you could imagine. If you thought you knew everyone who showed up at his parties, think again. The FBI has just named some big names who are seriously sweating it out, fearing they might be next on the Fed's radar. We're talking about influential figures you've definitely heard of. Sure, we all suspected Jay-Z might be involved, but even presidential figures and royalty could be in the mix. That's just crazy. So buckle up, because what you're about to hear is going to blow your mind.
The last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it.
Over the past 5 months since Lil Rod's lawsuit surfaced, we've been given a sneak peek into the lives of those who might be connected to Diddy and the wild events surrounding him. This lawsuit has revealed some major names, and it's quite a list. The producer, who worked with Diddy from September 2022 to November 2023, mentions several well-known figures, including fellow musicians, British royalty, and even Diddy's own staff. In response to these shocking claims, Diddy's lawyer has fired back, saying that Mr. Jones's lawsuit is just reckless name-dropping about events that never happened. But now that Diddy has been arrested, it raises the question, can his lawyer continue to uphold these denials? One of the most surprising names to pop up in Mr. Jones's lawsuit is Prince Harry. You might be wondering, how did he get tangled up in all of this? While the lawsuit doesn't say Prince Harry did anything wrong, it does mention that people associated with Diddy's alleged intimate partying could be connected to big names, including the British royal. Next, we have the music label CEOs, Lucian Grange and Ethiopia Habtemariam. Mr. Jones has named both the CEO of Universal Music Group, Lucian Grange, and the former CEO of Motown Records, Ethiopia Habtemariam, in his lawsuit. According to Jones, both Grange and Habtemariam, along with their labels, are 100% liable for the actions of Sean Combs. He claims that Diddy used threats of isolation from the music industry, leveraging his connections with these powerful executives to intimidate him. And now that Diddy's arrest has made headlines, more names are starting to come up. And another name that's been at the center of the rumors for years is none other than Jay-Z. But have you ever wondered why his name hasn't been mentioned in the lawsuit? According to Jaguar Wright, it all comes down to his intelligence, but not in the way you might think. Jaguar Wright claims that if you think Diddy's actions are bad, Jay-Z's are even worse.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
It's a bold statement. But when you look at the rumors that have circulated over the years, it's not hard to see why she feels this way. Stories about Jay-Z's involvement in shady dealings have been whispered for years, and what's striking is how similar some of these rumors are to what we've heard about Diddy. One thing that makes this even more suspicious is the fact that Jay-Z was close friends with both Diddy and R. Kelly, two figures who have been surrounded by serious allegations. But when you look at it from that angle, it's hard to believe that Jay-Z is completely in the clear. Among the rumors that's been circulating for years is the shocking claim that Jay-Z allegedly played a role in the deaths of some of the most influential figures in the music industry. Names like Tupac, Big L, Biggie, and even Aaliyah have all been tied to these whispers, suggesting that their untimely deaths might not have been just tragic or random accidents. And the fact that these rumors have lasted for so long makes you wonder if there's something more behind them. But the accusations don't stop there. Just like Diddy, there are long-standing rumors that Jay-Z has a disturbing history when it comes to young girls in the music industry. Names like Foxy Brown, Aaliyah, Tiara Marie, Rihanna, and even his own wife Beyoncé have been mentioned in these rumors, suggesting that he may have had inappropriate relationships with these women when they were much younger. And don't even get me started on the lengths Jay-Z would allegedly go to keep his image squeaky clean, even if it meant covering up dark secrets. One of the most shocking rumors is about the mysterious death of Kathy White, who was rumored to be his mistress. Some believe that she was silenced to protect Jay-Z's reputation. Now, someone else who could get wrapped up in this messy Diddy case is none other than Jennifer Lopez. According to Jones, J-Lo may have known about the horrible things Diddy was doing, including the aggressive mistreatment towards Cassie. Yet despite the lawsuits and everything coming out, J-Lo has stayed silent. She hasn't made a single post or comment about Cassie's situation, which is strange, especially when even Misa Hilton, another one of Diddy's exes, publicly expressed her sorrow for Cassie. Misa took to Instagram sharing how heartbroken she was for Cassie, saying she knew exactly how she felt and that it triggered her own past trauma. So why hasn't J-Lo spoken up? Well, Jones suggests it's because she's known all about this for years and chose to stay quiet. And here's where things get even crazier. Remember the raids the feds conducted on Diddy's properties? They took a massive amount of electronic evidence, including tapes, CCTV footage, laptops, phones, and more. But there's one piece of evidence that's been talked about the most, the tape that allegedly has J-Lo on it. According to Suge Knight, the Fed supposedly handed over this tape to none other than Ben Affleck. And this has reportedly changed the way he sees J-Lo completely. Knight claims that this tape has revealed things about her involvement in Diddy's activities that have left Ben Affleck unable to look at her the same way. If this is true, it would mean that J-Lo's ties to Diddy's dark side go deeper than anyone ever imagined.
I'm quite sure they gave him those tapes. And I'm quite sure he can never look at her the same. I'm quite sure they heading for divorce. Because, that's a man who had a good life. Great parents, don't spend a lot of money, ain't tripping out paparazzi.
And we're far from done. This story doesn't just involve J-Lo's alleged ties to Diddy's controversies. It also drags up a dramatic incident from over 2 decades ago that's now coming back into the spotlight. There's growing talk about the possibility of Jennifer Lopez being called as a witness in a potential trial. According to New York lawyer Pete Gleason, her presence at the nightclub on the night of the infamous 1999 shooting and the fact that she left in the same vehicle as Diddy could make her a key witness. If there are any criminal charges or civil claims not outside the statute of limitations, this could be problematic for Lopez, Gleason shared with In Touch Weekly. For those of you who don't know, Natanya Rubin, a woman who was injured during the Club New York shooting in 1999, has been taking extreme steps to prove Diddy and J-Lo were involved in her injuries. Rubin was at the nightclub when gunfire erupted, leaving 3 people hurt, including herself. She was shot in the face, and now she's making an extraordinary offer to help the case. In a recent interview with News Nation, Rubin revealed she's willing to have doctors remove the bullet fragments still lodged in her face as evidence against Diddy. While charges against J-Lo were dropped almost immediately, long before the case made it to court, she has always denied any involvement in the shooting and fully cooperated with investigators. Diddy and his bodyguards were acquitted of all charges after the 2001 trial. But Shine, just 21 at the time, wasn't so lucky. He was convicted of illegal firearm possession and physical altercation, resulting in a 10-year prison sentence. Now, with new lawyers emerging and old wounds reopening, J-Lo's past connection to Diddy is once again under scrutiny. Could this long-buried incident come back to haunt her? Well, this leads us to another celebrity who might end up in court. None other than Meek Mill. For the past few months, a video has been circulating showing Meek allegedly involved in Diddy's questionable activities, even going so far as to call him daddy. This alone raised eyebrows, but what really adds to the disturbing narrative is how Meek allegedly mistreated the one and only Nicki Minaj. In Jones's lawsuit, there's a mention of Meek that hints at some unsettling behavior towards his ex, Nicki. Earlier this year, Meek's former associate Dean spilled the tea, revealing that the couple had explosive arguments. In fact, Dean even dropped a bombshell claiming he witnessed Meek spitting on Nicki during one of these confrontations. And it gets even wilder. In an interview, Jaguar Wright hinted at something even darker brewing behind the scenes. She revealed that there are shocking videos floating around the dark web, reportedly being sold for millions of dollars. These videos allegedly feature celebrities engaged in, well, let's just say, highly inappropriate activities. And guess who's rumored to be sharing these tapes? None other than Diddy himself.
Off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake.
If you're wondering why this hasn't exploded on social media, Jaguar has an explanation for that too.
How come you think it doesn't get leaked to the public?
The dark net?
Yeah, like...
Because of the dark coin. Most people don't even know that the dark coin exists.
Another celebrity who could be tangled in this messy situation is none other than Usher, and it's no secret. While some may argue that Usher was also a victim of Diddy's influence, his history paints a more complex picture. As many of us know, the reason Justin Bieber ended up in Diddy's orbit was because of Usher. At the time, Usher was handling Justin's early career, and sadly, this connection may have led to Bieber's mental decline and struggles with substance addiction. Now, after all the lawsuits and allegations against Diddy, you'd think Usher would distance himself, right? Well, it's quite the opposite. Instead of criticizing Diddy, Usher actually had the nerve to look up to him. In a recent interview, Usher reflected on his time at Puffy's Flavor Camp during an episode of the Club Shay Shay podcast. He recalled how much he learned from Diddy during that time, but the timing of his praise struck many as suspicious.
I don't think I would be the artist that I am today without the experiences that I had in New York City. One, just being in a new place where I would have to adjust, right? I didn't have the comfort of home. I'm in New York City and they was, done and sunning me to death, bro.
Another name that keeps coming up in his unfolding mess is Ashton Kutcher. His friendship with Diddy goes way back, and in the mid-2000s, they were so close that they even dubbed themselves as part of the new Rat Pack, alongside actor Jamie Foxx. They were often seen together at events, making it clear that their bond ran deep, but now that connection is raising eyebrows. In a 2019 Hot Ones interview, Kutcher dropped an intriguing line, telling host Sean Evans, "I've got a lot I can't tell," when asked about his friendship with Diddy. That statement has resurfaced with new meaning, especially since reports claim Kutcher is expecting a subpoena regarding Diddy's alleged wrongdoings. Next on the list is the influential Anna Wintour, who has been photographed partying with Diddy several times. Their connection is more than just casual acquaintanceship. Wintour's decision to invite Diddy to the coveted Met Gala and feature him in Vogue several times over the years gave him a ticket to the fashion world's elite circles. This acceptance into high fashion cemented Diddy's reputation, and he enjoyed regular Vogue features, including the famous 1999 shoot titled Puffy Takes Paris. But their friendship also extended behind the scenes, where Diddy's desire for status was so intense that, according to a former employee, he allegedly told his staff, "When you speak to me, you should imagine that you're talking to Karl Lagerfeld." It's a telling insight into his hunger for power and influence, qualities that may have allowed him to cover up darker secrets. And then, of course, there are the Kardashians, members of the famous family that have been regular guests at Diddy's extravagant parties for years. They were spotted arm in arm with him as recently as 2019, seemingly comfortable in his circle. Whether you love or hate the Kardashians, their inclusion in Diddy's orbit speaks volumes. Their brand is built on carefully curated images and relationships, so their close ties to Diddy raises questions about how much they really knew. The Kardashians are not ones to stay silent for long, but their quietness amid these accusations is striking. There are also rumors that Diddy helped the Kardashians cover up a money laundering scheme. People say that his influence kept their financial troubles hidden from the public eye. It's believed that their friendship went beyond just partying together, as Diddy allegedly used his power to protect them from legal issues. Additionally, some claims suggest that Diddy and the Kardashians tried to place Kanye West under a conservatorship, making him look mentally unstable to control his finances. However, Kanye caught on to their plans and took steps to regain control over his life and career, distancing himself from them. Paris Hilton, another celebrity with a long-standing connection to Diddy, also stands out. As an advocate for mistreatment survivors and a voice for young people, her silence on the accusations against him is hard to ignore. Over the years, she has attended countless of Diddy's lavish parties and even posted about the epic times she's had at his house. With her platform and her outspokenness on other issues, many are wondering why she hasn't addressed the allegations. Hilton has been vocal about her own experiences with mistreatment, so her decision to stay quiet in this case feels off. Now going back to Lil Rod's lawsuit, there are a few key names we haven't mentioned yet. Among those named are actress and model Daphne Joy and rapper Young Miami. Mr. Jones claims they were intimate workers, whom Diddy allegedly paid a monthly fee and pressured him to solicit. In an Instagram post, Ms. Joy strongly denied these allegations, calling them 100% false, and accusing Mr. Jones of trying to ruin her reputation. Young Miami also seemed to brush off the claims, responding to a post on X with a cheeky remark about doing anything for $250K. She said, "Something the internet made up and y'all ran with it," indicating that she didn't take the accusations seriously. Then there's actor Cuba Gooding Jr. Just hours after federal agents raided Diddy's homes, Mr. Jones amended his case to include accusations against Gooding, known for his roles in films like Boys in the Hood and Jerry Maguire, According to Jones, he was tied and then passed off to Gooding, who allegedly essayed him. The lawsuit details that Gooding engaged in inappropriate touching and fondling, which adds a shocking twist to this already complicated saga. Another name that keeps coming up is Christina Coram, Diddy's chief of staff. Mr. Jones claims she was involved in some pretty serious misconduct. He alleged that she required all of Diddy's employees to carry illegal substances around his home and even ordered intimate workers for him. In a particularly striking comparison, Jones referred to Coram as the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs' Jeffrey Epstein, drawing a parallel to the infamous socialite currently serving time for serious crimes. People can't help but wonder about the long list of celebrities who have been close to Diddy over the years. This includes not just musicians, but also some prominent figures like Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and even Kamala Harris. With so many connections, what comes next for the 54-year-old music mogul? Damian Williams, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, has been somewhat vague when discussing whether Diddy or others could face additional charges. "I can't take anything off the table. Anything is possible," he stated. "Our investigation is very active and ongoing. A lot of you who cover this office know that when we say such things, developments are certainly foreseeable, but I cannot predict them sitting here today." This leaves many wondering what new information might emerge. Recent reports indicate that multiple witnesses who have worked for Diddy are meeting with prosecutors. One male intimate worker is expected to testify before the grand jury in the coming days. According to a source familiar with the investigation, these witnesses' allegations go beyond what was detailed in the recent indictment. This could indicate that more serious allegations are on the horizon. To understand what lies ahead for Diddy and those around him, CNN spoke to several legal experts. Interestingly, many do not expect a plea deal for the music mogul, suggesting that the accusations against him could expand even further. Shay Rhodes, director of the Villanova Law Institute to address commercial exploitation, expressed curiosity about how Diddy's situation might empower other survivors to come forward. Regarding those alleged to be a part of Diddy's criminal activities, experts pointed out the complex decisions prosecutors will face. They need to figure out whether to charge these individuals or persuade them to testify against Diddy. As trial attorney Misty Maris noted, the prosecution is going to have to deal with witnesses with a rough past or who are admitting to engaging in criminal activity. In a case involving racketeering, the situation becomes even murkier. While Diddy remains not guilty according to the court, justice will not take long to reveal itself. If convicted, he faces a potential life sentence for the racketeering conspiracy charge, with a minimum of 15 years for the S-teaking charge. The stakes are incredibly high, and the public is left waiting to see how this will unfold. So what are your thoughts on this situation? Comment down below. And while you're here, make sure to like, subscribe, and watch our other videos for the latest updates on this developing story. The drama surrounding Diddy continues to unfold, and you won't want to miss what happens next.